Hey, you're watching Gamer Marc YouTube channel. Hello and welcome to Texas, Austin. We are here in the USA for round 7, and this race is going to be absolutely amazing. We've got fantastic drivers in the top half of the field as well as the bottom half of the field, and we are looking forward to this race. The circuit is 3.4 miles with 20 turns, 2 detection zones, so it should be really absolutely spectacular. We've had fantastic races here in the past, and this is an absolutely amazing circuit. Like I said, 20 turns, fast turns, slow turns, and twisty turns. So we're looking forward to this. And there is rumours that rain will be heading down towards the latter stages of this race, as we see the aeroplane fly over. Fantastic there. The aeroplane's flying over. Fantastic there. Got Lewis Hamilton there in the championship. Sebastian Vettel in second. And there, it's going to be really tasty there. Constructors there, Mercedes of course, alongside the Ferrari and the Red Bull. So let's look at who is where on the grid. So we have Lewis Hamilton in pole. Next to him is Vettel. Then we have Bottas, and then Max Verstappen in 4th. Gasly in 5th. Leclerc in 6th. Norris in 7th. Perez in 8th. Magnussen in 9th. Ricciardo 10th. Grosjean 11th. Albon 12th. Kvyat 13th. Sainz 14th. Hulkenberg, then Giovinazzi, then Raikkonen, then Stroll, then George Russell and Robert Kubica at the back. So this is it, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are go! Fantastic start from Bottas. And Vettel is alongside Hamilton. Oh, Hamilton sort of nudged there, Vettel. Oh, a bit of debris has come off. Hamilton running really wide, and he's lost the lead, and he's now under attack by the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. Bottas has lost a couple of places from 3rd place, bashing in the first corner with Hamilton and Vettel. Absolutely fantastic start from Vettel, who is pulling away. As we see, Max Verstappen is ahead of Leclerc. So Vettel, then Hamilton, and then Max Verstappen, then Leclerc, then Gasly, and Bottas has lost out big time, dropping down the order from 3rd all the way down into 6th. As we see all the cars turning now onto the long back straight. Fantastic view by the camera there. This is lap 1 of 14. Oh, there we go. Leclerc on Max Verstappen. He looks like he's done it. Under braking, as we see the brakes light up there on the long straights, but look, Max Verstappen fights back fantastically well and puts the pedal down, and he's going as Gasly battling with Bottas. It's all kicking off in the first lap. Bottas being squeezing Gasly, or Gasly squeezing him back. It's all neck and neck now as they come around the corner. Bottas is ahead of Gasly, and we're moving into lap 2 now as they're nearly coming down to the straight. Penultimate corner onto the back straight. This is where we see the car should squeeze up behind. Sebastian Vettel leading the charge. Of course, with the fastest lap, he's now got that extra 1 point as he is motoring along in 1st place. Fantastic start by the Ferrari team, and especially Sebastian Vettel. Leclerc really struggling now to really make gains, and we are hearing that he's complaining about engine problems, not having this, not having that, and hearing noise and maybe even a flat tyre we hear. So we jump on board there. Gasly, who's been overtaken by Bottas now. Bottas on the move. As we look at Leclerc, who is complaining a little bit. He might think he's got a puncture. So this would be very interesting to see if he's got that. And here we are, team radio.
Puncture. Mode punk. Stupid.
So now Leclerc getting squeezed again. Oh, a bit of debris there coming off Lewis Hamilton's car. And he's fighting with Max Verstappen. It looks like he's got the line, but Max Verstappen has now lost out But now Lewis Hamilton runs wide. Argy bargy. This is Sebastian Vettel's rubbing his hands together as we see Vettel there. Max Verstappen looks like he's got off better off that corner. Lewis Hamilton running wide again. This is twice. Leclerc fancies the look. Bottas fancies the look. Bottas looks like he's powering through as we move on to lap 3 of this awesome race at the moment. Absolutely fantastic. And Sebastian Vettel leading, and while these are all squabbling, Leclerc looks like tired contact there with other drivers there in the second lap. And they're getting really close now, especially through this tight and twisty circuit. Leclerc has to back off as Max Verstappen is fighting there. Bottas is in the mix, Gasly in the mix. Leclerc needs to now push on to get after Hamilton. Hamilton's got front wing damage. This will be very interesting. Team radio.
There's something strange with the engine. What's happening?
We have no H recovery.
Yeah, but I can't. Oh my god.
And keep calm, we need the car home.
Yes, I will try. I'm keeping calm.
So Leclerc now complaining about engine problems. This may be a massive factor, especially on this circuit, as Bottas goes through, and now he's got the Red Bulls behind him, chasing after him. So this will be very interesting now. Bottas has been released, and now is in third place. Now we can start to chase after Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton now pushing on, running a little bit wide, looking a bit ragged. We know he's lost a bit of his front wing. Will that impact on him as Bottas has now been released and then now on a charge? Team radio.
Okay, watch for Verstappen behind.
So this is an old message, but they might be thinking that Verstappen might come in and pit and do an undercut, which is on the card. So they're worried about that. Bottas is extremely worried about that as well. So this will be very interesting indeed, as now we look at Sebastian Vettel with a fantastic healthy lead. He's like 5 seconds in front, clear space to drive into, and he is moving forward as Lewis Hamilton there coming through. Now and again 5 seconds. Sebastian Vettel really pushing hard now. Lewis Hamilton is gaining slightly, but he's probably struggling with his tyres as well, as he's had to do 2 extra laps on those tyres in qualifying that we saw. So now Sebastian Vettel on the back straight, the long back straight, with Hamilton in second place, Bottas in third place. It's heating up as we see Leclerc in the background there in fourth. And then we've got the Red Bulls of Max Verstappen and Pierre Gasly rounding it off in 5th and 6th place. And then we have the midfield trying to hurry their way forward as well. As we look at Sebastian Vettel, our race leader, started P2, is in the lead and has been in the lead from start to finish. A superb drive from him. Just can't see the Mercedes really making any ground with the damage on the front as well. Unless Bottas can get past, it'll be all Ferrari, I believe. Oh, it's lap 5. Lewis Hamilton's coming to the pits. That's an early stop, as he was gaining, putting in the fast. He did put a fast sectors in that one, in that lap. So medium tyres go on. Medium times are on. They're on right now. So this would be extremely interesting now. Lewis Hamilton's coming out, and he will be at the back of the grid. He will be P20. Team radio.
I don't know what you're thinking when you keep these tyres on, man. You need to hope for a miracle.
So Lewis Hamilton there, not happy with the tyres that he's got on, and he'll be extremely disappointed with that. He seems like he's on the wrong tyres and the wrong strategy to pit him in early. Now he's at the back. He's on the mediums, while his rivals are still out there on the softs. Super softs are pounding round. And now we see there Bottas, Leclerc in third place now. Bottas can't see Sebastian Vettel, who is way out in front. But he is making ground on him though, Bottas. He is putting putting the work in, trying to close that gap. As Leclerc really needs to push on as well. Nothing in front of him, can't see where Sebastian Vettel is. And that is a worrying sign for Mercedes, as the Ferraris are just scampering ahead with Sebastian Vettel. And there we are, Bottas, Leclerc, Max Verstappen is pulled away from Gasly. So lap 6 of 14. Fantastic race so far, lots of actions coming out of this race in the first 6 laps. As we look at Gasly pulling away. Gasly's ahead of Max Verstappen. There's Max Verstappen. Team radio.
Mode 7, when you're ready, Max. Mode 7, to the end.
So they're giving Max Verstappen mode 7 all the way to the end of this race. So they really need to power down now. Really trying to push Max Verstappen closer. As we look at the midfield there, the Toro Rosso working really, really hard. They've got the Haas of Grosjean, the home team, in the midfield area. So they really want to try and kick on and get in that top 10. As we look at the Toro Rosso, they're under attack from the McLaren who's behind. And then the Renault, then the Alfa Romeo. And then the two Williams, and then Lewis Hamilton behind as well. So Lewis Hamilton, we can now see in the picture as we look at Hulkenberg now, all over the back of that McLaren. Fantastic aerial shot there we have of the drivers going through that corner. As we look at Kimi Raikkonen now, pushing on, really trying to make something happen now. So Kimi Raikkonen there, pushing hard with his Alfa Romeo. Not making any really inroads, and he's towards the back end as well. Kimi Raikkonen will be very disappointed with this. So we move on to lap 7. Let's look at Giovinazzi behind the racing point as they go down a long back straight. Fantastic for the fans, massive sellout here. Racing point keeping Giovinazzi in the Alpha behind, not allowing him to get past. So moving towards the closing stages now, and the most important stages. Only driver to come into the pits is Lewis Hamilton at the moment. We're expecting drivers to come in now, so this is probably where all the changes will happen. So Lewis Hamilton did go in slightly early. Will that cost him in the later stages? Because he's trying to get past these back markers. Well, they're not really back markers, they're actually racing for position, so this will be very interesting indeed. As we look at the Williams of George Russell, fantastic shot there. Fantastic speeds going down the back straight there. So George Russell. With Lewis Hamilton behind him now, who's overtook Robert Kubica, who is now in 20th position. Lewis Hamilton on the yellow mark tyres, as you can see, and he's surrounded by everyone with the red mark tyres, the faster tyres. As we look now at Lewis Hamilton running really wide, trying to get past. He's gone off the track there. He's had to yield to make sure he doesn't overtake. Drivers have got in. Russell's got in. That will help him now. And he's moved up to P8 now. So lap 8. Drivers are coming in for their pits. Sebastian Vettel is coming out. Valtteri Bottas is coming out. So it looks like Lewis Hamilton has got past Bottas, but not past Vettel. So it looks like Vettel has done it. He's come out, and it's got to be all Vettel's now. Can't see him losing it now. He's managed to race this race very smart. Pitted at the right time. A massive distance again over. Lewis Hamilton has got to overtake a few cars to get to him. We're expecting these cars to come in. There is a bit of traffic for Sebastian Vettel to overtake. He's got to pass them, as this is for position. And he's right behind the McLaren now. And the Ferrari car in 5th place. This should be easy meet. As it pulls out to the left. straight past him with ease. There's nothing that McLaren can do but just to allow him through, because he's just going to destroy his tyres and ruin his race. So very, very smart there by the McLaren driver. No point fighting it, as Vettel now is in 4th place, expecting his drivers in front to peel into the pits. This will then release Sebastian Vettel to put down fast lap times without being held up. Yes, all 4 of them go into the pits, as they were all due a pit stop. They've all gone in together, and there's your race leader on lap 9, Sebastian Vettel. Absolutely outstanding race from start to finish, as we see Leclerc coming out with a Red Bull car behind him. Lewis Hamilton there in the background, Valtteri Bottas there. So we've got Leclerc now in 5th. Bottas is really close to Lewis Hamilton now. Lewis Hamilton coming under immense pressure. Can his tyres hold up? He has been on them for 4 or 5 laps now. These guys on the yellow mark tyre on fresher tyres. They've got to release Bottas, who looks a lot faster, and the lap time suggests he is faster. So there might be a swap of routes so they can make some ground on Ferrari, and they might have a chance of, giving that place back towards the end if they decide to do that. But Bottas is catching Lewis Hamilton, so this is going to be an absolutely titanic battle. He's got the DRS as well, and he's using that, as he is 1 second behind. That's all Lewis Hamilton needs now. There's a faster car behind him with DRS as well. Running a little bit wide there, trying to make sure Lewis Hamilton does run wide on the exit there. This is just going to allow Bottas to close in now, and that is what Bottas is doing. He's closing in. Lewis Hamilton's got to get more power somewhere, as his tyres are giving off. Look like they're giving up as well, as Bottas is relishing this. Sebastian Vettel's nice and comfortable in the lead there. No harm at the moment, as we move on to lap 10. So Lewis Hamilton in 2nd place, Sebastian Vettel in 1st, and then we've got Bottas in 3rd, and Leclerc in 4th. Being hunted down by the Red Bull driver. As we look at this sweeping corners. Absolutely fantastic circuit there. There's Leclerc, the Red Bull car right behind him, not giving him a minute's notice, as we did here in the early parts of the race. Like Leclerc was suffering from engine problems and thought he had a puncture, but turns out he didn't. And now he's onto the yellow mark tyres. Fantastic there by Leclerc. He needs to try and push on. Can he push on to the Mercedes? And he's dragging the Red Bull with him. And this is going to be really, really interesting as we go on to the later stages now. So this is lap 10 of 14. So we look at this now. It's a lot closer now. Bottas is a lot closer now. And this is really going to be interesting towards the later stages, as I mentioned before. So look at Lewis Hamilton now, lap 11, being pursued and hunted down by his teammate. This should be interesting. They're moving forward now, moving into the late stages of the race. Only a few laps left. Lewis Hamilton seems to be pulling away and closing now as we move through these S's, using the whole of the track there. Fantastic shot. Lewis Hamilton has made at least a half a second. He's managed to save his tyres and he's made half a second, and he's really pushing after Sebastian Vettel. And that's just dragging along Bottas as well. Will Bottas get DRS? I think he's just a little bit behind. And yes, he is. He's not 1 second behind. But Bottas now trying to be involved in this race for the first place, and Sebastian Vettel has lost a bit more time. And the Mercedes are catching him, especially Lewis Hamilton, who's starting to drop Bottas as well. And now we can see Sebastian Vettel in the picture. Lewis Hamilton putting down all he's got in this race and pushing hard, trying to find every inch and every ounce of the track. Lap 12 of this fantastic race, 2 laps remaining. Sebastian Vettel has had this race very comfortably, led this race comfortably from the start and during the middle, and looks like towards the end as well. But Lewis Hamilton is applying pressure. Bottas has dropped way off the pace. But Lewis Hamilton is again making seconds here, half a second there, 0.2 there, and he's closing in and eating into that time, but that's not going to help going off the track there. Tries to shake off all that debris off the track there as he hits the pole or the cone. As the cone goes flying off, that he's not going to do his front wing any good, as he's already lost the front bit already at the start with Max Verstappen. So Max Verstappen pushing hard as well. Gasly pushing hard, trying to remain in that top 10. We did hear Max Verstappen was using his high engine modes. Lewis Hamilton needs all his engine modes now as well. There's obviously a fuel issue as well. We've got to make sure that they're not pushing too much and don't want to run out of fuel. That'd be costly. Also, to come in to be second, they do not want that. Do not want to run out of fuel. He's pushing hard. Sebastian Vettel now being seen by Lewis Hamilton down that straight as we move on to lap 13. 2 laps remaining. So we've got this lap, then the next lap, and that should be it. Sebastian Vettel there pushing hard just in front of Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton is gaining, especially through this first sector. He's absolutely mighty. If you look at Bottas, has made a little bit of gain after his little drop off. Lewis Hamilton using every inch of the circuit there. Nothing's getting left alone as he comes down the hill now. And he has definitely gained a second on this lap already. These yellow tyres are really holding up, considering he's put them on lap 4. And he's really motoring now and absolutely can reach out and touch. Well, if he really wants to put a challenge on now, he's got to turn everything up. He's got to go for it. There's a much better turn in there for Lewis Hamilton. Sebastian Vettel now is getting reeled in slowly. You can see him now just trying to cut the racetrack in half, running a little bit wide there. Lewis Hamilton. That won't do him any favours, but he is making up the difference on the first sector, a little bit of the second sector, running wide there to jump on board. It's really close now. Still hasn't got DRS. So this is the last lap. Lap 14, last lap. Lewis Hamilton there, cutting the track there in half. Just about kept it in there, made it legal. And again, cutting the track in half, keeping those 2 tyres over the white line. Doesn't want to be penalised, and he's all over the back of Sebastian Vettel. Definitely less than 1 second now, and he will definitely have DRS. This is going to be crucial. Can he make it stick? Does he have DRS? I'm sure he does. And the letterbox opens up and he pushes down now. This should be fantastic. Drifts out to the left. Oh, Sebastian Vettel braking late. Oh, he hasn't done it. So Vettel fights back. But Lewis Hamilton's got the inside and he's gone too wide, and Sebastian Vettel. Team radio, Sebastian Vettel, team radio. As he is, as we hear him complaining.
Okay, sorry guys, it was my mistake. I got surprised and lost the rear. Really sorry.
So he's saying he's lost the rear there. Oh, as he went wide there. This should be an absolutely devastating for Sebastian Vettel, as it looks like the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton has done it, has come back to win this GP. Absolutely amazing.
Yes!
So obviously Lewis Hamilton excited there.
Great drive. We did it. Good job.
As he is P1, everyone is excited here at Mercedes. Ferrari is very disappointed. I can't believe it. Lewis Hamilton managed to reel him in lap after lap after lap. And Bottas finished in third place there. Congratulates his teammate there. Sebastian Vettel will be very, very heartbreak to just come away with second place. But it is what it is. Your race winner, Lewis Hamilton. And in second place, Sebastian Vettel. And then Valtteri Bottas in third place. So Mercedes 1 and 3. And here's the champagne! Champagne! Fantastic race, exciting, had everything, and action, contact, cars leaving the track, left, right, centre, overtakes, absolutely fantastic. And this is the standings now. This is where they all are. Lewis Hamilton in first, Sebastian Vettel second, Bottas in third, Leclerc in fourth, Gasly in fifth. Good race for him. Perez in sixth, Verstappen in seventh, Grosjean eighth, and Albert in 10th. So really, really good race for him. And Kimi Raikkonen in 9th. So we're very, very happy with that. And there it is. There is the Drivers' Championship there. So Lewis Hamilton in first, Bottas in third, with Sebastian Vettel in second place. If we look at the constructors now, as you can see, the Mercedes are ahead. So they are ahead, and it's the Ferrari in second place. Ferrari have got a lot of work to do now. They can still do it. Still got to be pushing, and then Red Bull in third place. Thanks for watching. I've been your boy Gamer Marc, and I'll see you in the next video.